Hi everyone, this is your instructor Laura Lee, and I'm just going over some of the basics of ratios for this week's assignment for week 2, assignment A. So anytime you see the word ratio, you should think that you're dividing something. Sometimes you have to calculate the top number in your division problem, and sometimes you have to calculate the bottom number, the denominator. So for the first one, you're looking at an operating margin ratio. And if you look in your textbook for this week, it discusses how the operating ratio is net income divided by total revenues. So that's what you're going to look for in problem 1, is to find those amounts and then use those to calculate the operating margin ratio. And then the return on equity rate is a little bit different because it has an extra step. The return on equity is the difference between net assets and income divided by the total revenues. So that's how you're going to get started for number 1. For number 2, this is a debt to worth ratio, and both number 2 and number 3 are both debt to worth ratio problems. If you look in your book, it will give you the equation for debt to worth ratios. And in this case, you're basically taking the debt and you're comparing it to the worth of the practice that you're working for. So the debt of the practice for number 2 would be the liabilities, and then the worth would be the actual net worth that it gives you. So you're going to find both of those values and then you are going to divide them. So debt to worth would be, you would take the debt, the liabilities, divided by the worth. All right, the last question, question 3, is similar to question 2. You actually use the same numbers as in question 2, except for this one, you're also including the data that it gives you that says the operating revenues exceed operating expenses by $300,000. So basically what you're going to do, since it's a type of revenue, that's going to go towards the worth. So you're going to add that to the net worth in number 2, and then you are going to use the liabilities to create your ratio again. So it'll be your liabilities divided by the net worth plus the operating revenues. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me.